On point. On point.
Nice, Abi.
Again, let's do it again.
On point.
On point.
On point.
On point.
God damn it. On point.
On point.
Yeah, man. On point.
First things first. Well, how do you guys feel about your upbringing? Do you guys have more of like strict parents, or did you? Everybody, give me tissue. He needs tissue.
Oh,
He's reflecting.
are you
Next
gonna,
one.
are you
So-
gonna cry?
Are you gonna?
He's so emotional.
So now, do you guys have like strict parents? Like, how was your upbringing, and how did it affect you? Hi, my name is Emmanuel.
Welcome, Emmanuel.
This is Stile.
My upbringing, because I was brought up in a different way, totally different. I wasn't brought up by one person. It's a lot of people, teachers, grandparents, parents as well. So it varies. While I was in school, it was strict. With parents, strict as well. With my grandparents,
It was
I would say, yeah, it was
It's calm.
neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
It was neutral. But I got some beatings though. I got some beatings, but at the end of the day, I think it did help me. But according to the
Because like, do you feel like you missed life?
do you feel like, if I feel like I missed life? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Because there are some certain things that I believe a kid or a teenager should do
Mm-hmm.
when they're in the teenage years.
Yeah.
Like they have to do this thing whatsoever. And those kind of things I didn't do it, maybe going out to party or whatsoever. The first time I went out to party was when I was I think 18. First time I went to club.
Okay, club. You mean club? Okay.
Even party, yeah. Party club. That was when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I had my first alcohol, like
Mm-hmm.
drink. I think I was 19 or so.
Mm-hmm.
19, 18, yeah. So, and when you are in this form, when you are 18 already, and then you started knowing these things, because when you are 18, this is when you start to know, okay, I'm a man now, trying to form like you're a man,
Yeah, become.
and then you kind of get addicted to going out, to drinking, because you haven't been doing these things
Mm-hmm.
back in the days. So, and this thing, if you are a kid that don't know how to stop at one point, this thing is going to get into your head. That every chance you have in your 18s, 19s, every chance you have, you just want to go out and party.
So you mean like going out with parents for parties, and so you didn't really do that?
With parents, that's different, because you are restricted. If you're with a parent, you can't really be you.
But like clubbing, what time is the right time to go clubbing?
I wouldn't say clubbing. Okay, let's say house party. For
Okay,
example.
okay. Just hanging out with friends.
Just
like,
hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
Or sleeping over or doing that kind of things.
Sleeping over, I never had that, for
Yeah.
example. Yeah.
So, and imagine now you're 18 or you live on your own, and then there's a friend that's okay, you want to come house party, there's this house party there. You would be like, okay, I want to do this thing, I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new experience. And it's this age, that's when you actually need to take over your life.
Yeah.
So it might also affect you academically. Like, okay, I have to learn, but at the same time, I still want to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the case may be different for a kid that has been going out parties since he was 13, 14.
Young.
So, and when this kid is actually maybe 18 years old or 19 or 20,
So you're satisfied.
it won't be really, yeah, they're doing house party. Yeah, fine. But I have something to do.
I think, yeah, because like now me, I think I started late. I would say I started late. But yeah, I started like due to my own upbringing. Parents pretty strict.
This Hercules. Hercules.
Yeah, very strict. So did a lot of stuff late. Not only late, but I had to be creative. Sneak out, sneaky.
Man.
Come up with some type of
some excuses.
all those type of stuff.
I know the level.
But I think the strictness. I wouldn't say I missed out on life because you always feel like, it's happening now. I need to do it now. But later on, depending on who you are, because if you have discipline, you might be like, okay, I didn't do it then. I can do it now, and now I can control myself while I do it. I don't have to do it excessively. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the benefit I had, like with being brought up a bit more strict than anyone else. So the benefits I still see, like even some values, like there's a way like some people might be doing something uncontrollably, and I'm like, let's chill, man, let's relax, and I've seen it with you as well, where it's like, yo, let's do this, and you're like, what for now? Let's relax, let's just chill. Everyone is doing it, but you're like, I'm going home, man. I'm going home. I'm tired. Just like to, and I think it also affects how you like your personality. Because there's a way you sometimes, how would I say, the artist needs to like the whole pattern so like to design, and even if you're there, you're more of the, you know what I mean? So like there's some, so like me, we know how I am. If you go out, there's nothing calm about that. But there's that thing of like, I don't have to be there, which I see in you sometimes, which I have as well. Like so.
I think strict parents, they make us very creative, like you said before, excuses, maneuver things. By me it was the same thing because sleepover were no go, strict no go. So how do we go clubbing? Sneak out, sneak in, as you said. Friend ask a brother to say where you are, tell him that you're inside, tell him you're there and normal things. Let me just reveal the secret. My first time I went clubbing was 16. The club classmate said, let's go. It was not far from our house.
What club was it? City?
Nachtschicht.
City.
Yeah, it was Nachtschicht. That was Nachtschicht.
Yeah. Do you know mommy is watching YouTube as well?
No, it kind of been Nachtschicht.
Nachtschicht, that was it was still Nachtschicht that time.
The Club Couture.
Club Couture, yeah, it's the same place.
Yeah, it's the same place, but not the same. It's not the same era.
The same era.
That's
why.
That's exactly because the reason why I am able to question it is because I had this conversation on my way back from work early this morning. Because it was Nachtschicht. Yeah, not Nachtschicht. It was Nachtschicht, Club Couture, Bollwerk.
Yeah.
And if you consider how long Bollwerk has been closed now, and we consider it ran for like 2-3 years or 4, then what's it called? Club Couture. It's not possible time-wise that he still stepped into Nachtschicht.
Yeah, because you're saying 16 and 16 was
it's like not even up to 10 years by age, or is it up to?
I will not reveal it today.
Well, you get me.
It was Club Couture then, yeah. So anyways, they're sneaking. So that time, I have to say it was really stressful because I wasn't into it, I don't know those things. I think that is the thing we also miss with our strict parents. When you get into certain situation, you're not prepared because you did not do it. And when you come at a later age, you have the risk of disgracing yourself in front of others because you're not experienced in that certain place. Like once I went clubbing, somebody went there also for the first time. So they went there, started drinking excessive, like, woo, this and that. And these are things you have already done in a not younger age, but with 22, 23, you don't go there again for excessive drinking, like see how much I can drink.
Yeah.
You go in for a chill, maybe
men are 40 go for excessive drinking.
Okay,
so it might not
I never go
really
to
be
the club to show how much I can drink though.
Now that's for the younger ones. I think maybe you are disciplined enough not to do that too. But with the young, I always say with the younger ones, they always have a competition. Like, I can drink more than you.
So,
That's new to me.
Anyways, my parents were strict, but I think one thing I must say.
you are stricter.
He said I was stricter.
No, my parents were strict due to upbringing and faith, but yeah, they were understanding enough to know that a kid needs certain amounts of freedom or to express themselves. Either they understood it or they just happened to give a certain amount of freedom. But now, a big part in me gaining my freedom in their strictness was lie. You have to be consistent in that.
That's what I posted. Stay consistent.
You know, like, no, I'm actually not encouraging lying. I'm just saying that at a certain age, for you to be able to have certain access to a certain kind of lifestyle, you have to find a way to you have to figure out how you can get what you want. So yeah, you know. So to some people it was sports, because if you have training and you have match and you're having engagement with your teams, you have to be there because you're part of the body, the organization. Then if you were in my gang, it was work. So now we had works or jobs where we had to stay away overnight to do the job. So I know that I saw certain man them that had their Kenya jobs, their waitress job, right? You remember the man them that showed up in Soylent Harlem for Lollipop, you know? So I'm just saying.
Shout out to Lollipop.
Why look at me?
I know, because he's wearing glasses too. So yeah, so some people, they had to find reasonable excuses, like after work, getting into somewhere. Now, my parents were actually strict, but not that strict that if you cross certain boundaries, you have to go to bed hungry. That's nasty. So what did I just say by that is that their strictness had limits. Like, yeah, there will be repercussions to you not staying or living within their guidelines, but it's not enough for them to make you an outcast and make you homeless because you're not. You know, there are some parents like, if you don't live and you don't do as I say, it's over and you're fucked. Like, no. But yeah.
No, but I don't think that was like that for any of us. But one thing I do know is the reason why mine was strict is because I feel like they didn't like obviously depends on how they themselves grew up. You know, that's number one. Secondly, so because of the way they grew up, they didn't really have a touch and feel with like what goes on out there or what happens. So like there's certain curfews where I was like, that does not make sense. You know?
Yeah.
Like it really does not make sense. Like for me to get to the place already is like 30 minutes. Now you're telling me that I have time to this specific time. But coming back is 30 minutes. No, it's not 30 minutes because now it's late.
So it's gonna be
It takes a bit longer. So let's say now it's 50, 45. And that means now if I calculate how much I'm spending there, it's like 30
on the road. You're more
exactly.
on the road
So it's like I'm driving there like almost 2 hours and I'm staying there not even an hour. Doesn't make sense. So that's what pushes like some youth to break those curfews and be like, and I guess what they call rebel against them. But it's not really like, you know, rebel is like you're not understanding what is going on right now. You're violating.
I think most parents are well aware of what their kids desire because you've been raising that kid and you are supposed to understand an amount of the nature of that kid, right? So now, I just think somewhere these parents believe that they know so much of what is going to be good for you. They're so well aware of, no, this is good if you live this way. So they try to make you not do certain things or stay away from certain things. But now, opposites pull like magnets. So now you want to see and like, my mates will be telling me what was happening there and it sounded like fun. But if you're there, you might not even see that's interesting, or you might not even violate. But now our parents might have often thought that, okay, they didn't really live that life, but they've seen more that life has to offer than we at that stage. So they might be like, go this time, come back this time. So it's not like they don't even give you access. But the truth is now you getting there, you're like, this is interesting. Wow, les mouths, that's what I would say. Now you feel like, oh, let me stay. My friends are here. Music, you know, people are dancing, or those that were into girls early on.
Like good combo.
And like, oh yeah, look at Samantha.
You made me remember Samantha.
You get me? So yeah, like I never had the urge that I must be at some events or I have to participate, because that's why you see I can easily be like, nah, I'm not going on. Okay, I'm just off and sprung. I don't have that urge like I must. Maybe because I've done some things before, but yeah. And upbringing is it's individual, because your parents, or most parents are well-meaning. But your personality might be, you are a rascal.
But shouldn't they allow you to do some mistakes while growing up?
Fantastic question.
Some mistakes.
Yeah, they should.
Fantastic question.
What do you say?
Would you watch a kid put his hand on the stove for it to learn that it burns?
Not really, but
Not really.
Not really.
That means you're a reckless parent. Not really. It's either yes or no right now. So what am I saying by that? Letting your kid make a mistake, you're right. Because for some of us to develop, we have to experience things for ourselves. But now, as I said, because our parents are well-meaning, they think that their intentions are best for us. But sometimes we actually blossom once we realize, oh, this is wrong. This is not as nice as I expected it to be. Then now we develop even better than they would have expected. So I say yes, we have to encounter certain things, but I don't know how easy it is for a parent to say, yeah, go out there. But yeah, so parents really have to let the kid do his thing.
I think I'm going to be that kind of parent though.
To allow
So
them.
let the kid do his or her thing.
Yeah. Because I believe that this life is just 50-50.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if something bad is going to happen, it's going to happen. If you prevent it from today to tomorrow, once that kid gets their freedom, if they want to do it, they're going to do it
But
anyway.
you see, that's why I said it depends on how you brought them up. Because there's certain things right now.
And that's why I said it has to do with the personality. If that kid wants to do that
personality
thing,
as well, yeah.
if that kid wants to do that thing,
You
they're
do
obviously
it.
going to do
Yeah,
it.
Let's say it this way. Our sisters enjoyed around the same upbringing somewhere, somehow, right?
Who?
Our sisters.
That's okay.
But we're nothing like our sisters. Will you deny? Will you deny? Because I'm not going to deny.
this one
This
will
question
say-
is just
It's for me and him.
Okay.
No, we're not.
You get me? So, and it is like the same upbringing, the same morals, the same values.
Yeah.
We're not trying to say our sisters are better,
Because they are not.
but their lifestyle is different.
That's it. Because you have different personalities.
Exactly. So personalities will also make a difference, you know.
On point. On point.